Hi, welcome back to Normanby Hall. My name is Guy Lewis and this is session 2 of the business plans and their uses. So we're going to look at business plans in more detail. We're going to look at goals, we're going to look at strategies, we're going to look at solutions, but then we're also going to look at roadblocks, things that stop you achieving your plan. So focusing on goals, your goals should contain your ambition. So that's, it's ambition, it's your product to market, it's what you really want to do. So I want to get this product to market, whether it's a creation of yours, whether it's actually an activity that you want to actually get to the client. In simple things, it could be like someone who wants to write or publish a book. It could be that someone wants to open an artisan cafe, or just run my own business. I've always wanted to run my own business. Then that actually, should be in them goals. You should look at also about growth or about targets. What do I want to achieve? Do I want to achieve a certain profit target? Is there a certain turnover I want to do? Also, are there sort of goals that talk about I want to extend my current premises? I've got a cafe bar at the moment, but I've only got room for 15 covers. I'd love to be able to get to 30 covers. I'd love to be able to have a room upstairs with a balcony. That sort of ambition. Again, add rooms, add covers, maybe extend. Certainly in some of these visitor attractions, they're always looking for how can I extend, how can I add more features, more reasons why people could come and see us. But also in that goals, as a business owner, you should also be looking at, I say an exit strategy, but whether it's earlier than that, whether it's contingency, whether it's actually, if I'm not here, if I want to go on holiday, how does the business work? If I'm ever not able to work, how does the business work? And ultimately, can I retire from this business? Is there people going to take it over from me? In terms of strategies, these should contain how are you going to get there? So, I want to, as a goal, maybe that I want to become more sustainable. So then that strategy is how. How do I move to more sustainable? What products do I need? What technology do I need? What do I need in there as a strategy? Again, it might be that you want to grow, so you need to find new products. You need to find more services. So you might be a coffee bar and you say, actually, it'd be great if we could add artisan cakes or artisan breads. So it's that idea of new products, new services that will give you that growth that you're looking for. It might be that you've just got to increase the client base. I want to grow, I want to do more, I need more people. So how do I do that? How do I look at, so my strategy is I need to increase the clients, therefore I need to do something to attract more clients, and we'll look at that later. And then also that strategy might be, I need to invest. I need to go from 15 covers to 45 covers. How do I do that? I'm going to have to invest in the business. And then we also just talked about the idea of exit. I maybe need to recruit, I need to bring in new talent to do some of the things that I'm doing or that need to be done to create these new products. So once you've got your strategy also then moves into that idea of solutions. So I want some new products. Well, what will work? I want new services. Well, how will that work? I want to increase my occupancy through marketing. That's a solution. I need to get more clients, therefore I need to market better. There are many videos on this site that will bring you more ideas of how to use digital marketing, social media, etc., which I'm not going to go into, but that's the idea of increasing the numbers to your door. So again, that solution might be develop a theme or a style for a restaurant. It might be about using certain local attractions and working alongside them. But the last one may be to try and increase your season. That might be to be weatherproofing. That might be to do with all sorts of ways of how you can attract people to your business outside the normal sort of high volume periods of the year. So I mentioned at the start of this session that one of the things the business plan should contain is the roadblocks. So what are these roadblocks? Well, firstly, it's finance. If you need money to actually achieve your goals, then you've got to look at ways of how do you raise finance. That can be through normal routes like banks, investors, it can be yourself, it can be friends, it can be your family. But the business plan's there to give the details of what you are trying to achieve, how you're trying to achieve it, and it can make something a realistic document that people can make a decision on. So if I'm going to invest in you, I need to know what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve. Your business plan actually solids up them thinking so you can actually justify what you're asking for. Other roadblocks might be things like staff availability. Quite often you've got goals to grow, to increase your capacity, but actually getting the staff to increase that capacity. And there are many, that needs to be addressed, that needs to be put in there with, when you've got a roadblock, is actually go right back to solutions again and saying, how can I solve that problem? And that might involve taking on apprentices, it might involve lots of training, it might involve many different ways of actually trying to get the staff you need to achieve your goal. And I suppose the last one, it's certainly in the sort of tourist visitor economy, is the variable weather. Definitely a roadblock, definitely something that can curtail seasons, and definitely something that can affect the income to a business. You put it in there because actually you need to actually have strategies that saying, what if it's the wettest summer on record since time began? How does my business fare? What can I do to sort of lessen the impacts of roadblocks that are stopping me getting to my goal? Right at the start of this, we talked about market analysis. Understanding what the market around you is really important in your business plan. If you are trying to set up a business that actually has got fierce competition around you, it's less likely that people are going to be interested in investing it. So what you need to do is to find out what the competition is, where it is, and where are there any gaps, rather than trying to sort of fight it out in the real competitive areas. So where are the gaps in the market? If you're a restaurateur, are you looking at areas where there's certain types of cuisine that's not available? If you're a bar, is there a certain age group that's not looked after? Is there a certain music venue that's missing? And that's what you should do, is to look for them gaps and then look if your business can actually exploit those gaps to be successful. I wanted to look at another type of plan and how you might use it. So I quite often use a 3-year visioning orbit. And it's a simple business plan on the page, and it often suits businesses who have never done a formal business plan, but want to capture them, want to get something down on paper or electronically that actually represents what they're thinking at the moment. So we can use some very simple tools like the orbit, which actually is a pictorial view on a page. It has concentric circles from the center working outwards, and each circle represents a year. So you start with the current year, and then you work out, as you work out to the circles, into the next year, the year after. And what you then do is you split them circles into segments, and they're areas where you look at the key parts of your business. And they might be profit, they may be staffing, they may be training, it could be anything that actually has an effect of how you get to where you want to get to. So as I talked before about saying, maybe I want to increase the size of my restaurant so I can have more covers. You may well have that as a sort of capacity type thing where you sit there and say, I've got capacity for 45 or whatever it is, and by year 3 I want that to be 120. Now your strategy might be a big bang strategy, I go from 45 to 120, or it might be that you can extend slowly outwards, upwards, backwards, whatever it is, to actually over the 3 years make it to that 120. But what would that also need? It would then also need to have an increase of staff. Because if you're serving 120 covers, guess what? You need more staff. It may be that you need to actually invest money in your property to actually get to that point. So again, we would look at how the finance would be in next year, the year after year. So you're planning out all the time what you will need to achieve your goals. You might also look at, as I talked about, how do you increase your new products, new services, but also your new clients. So it might have a marketing idea there where you look at how you might extend your marketing reach. The 3-year vision leads to, as I said before, a 12-month plan. And quite often I use an action plan, as I'm showing now, which actually looks at your 3 most important actions. So the 3 things that you must do to fulfill your ambitions and your goals for your business over the next 12 months. What you then do with them, the vital few, as we call them 3 vital actions, is we split them into smaller chunks. So we call the what's as the vital 3, and then the how's is the more the detail of how this should be done. But then you also start to assign who's doing it, and you'll start to put a time on it. So you start to look at much more measurable ways of planning your way forward. we find that that 12-month plan is something that is actually much easier to digest and actually work to. And what you can do is you can use, like the bottom line there is all green, but actually what you can try and do that is put traffic lights on there so that if something's not happening, you stick a red blob on it and it's something that you really focus on. So really that's what the business plan, their roles are. It's helping you to achieve what you want from your business. So this is the end of session 2, the final session of business plans and their uses. I hope you find the sessions useful.